The Alfie Whattam podcast.
What about Endchain and SV? Tell us about, I guess, current projects and where these are heading.
So Endchain was founded in 2015. I came out to the UK in October of 2015.
That's when you moved here?
That's when I moved here,
Okay.
Earlier than people think. But I didn't go around advertising that I had moved country.
Sure.
So that was before all the outing and everything like this.
Yeah.
The idea there was to build all of my concepts, designs, intellectual property in a less hostile environment, and that's the only way I can put it, because the Australian government was incredibly hostile to everything to do with Bitcoin at that point.
Yeah.
Part of that came down to what happened with Silk Road,
Yeah.
also other aspects. They saw it as a money laundering technology, a technology for not paying tax. I actually see it as very different. For instance, with VAT, we could have that built into every transaction. So when I go and pay for a coffee, the vendor doesn't need to ever touch the VAT. It goes straight to the government, which would simplify life for a lot of small businesses.
Sure.
But we've been working on patents and other such things for quite some time. Anyone who's ever done a patent will know how expensive that can be. We have about 2,700 white papers that I've been working on, and over 500 patent families filed.
Yep.
So around 2,000 patents plus. Some of those have been built, some of those are being built. Part of what we're doing with scaling Bitcoin is associated with that. So when Gavin and others sort of started working on BTC in the early days of Bitcoin,
Sure.
What they were meant to do is re-enable things. People had complained that there were security vulnerabilities possibly. So while the things were being checked, it was meant to be validate this, ensure the code is safe, and then build it. Unfortunately, it gave an opportunity for people to make other arguments like scripting shouldn't be there, small block sizes, etc. So unfortunately, I dropped the ball on that one. I had a number of issues. The Australian Tax Office tried to bankrupt me, and I had to go through a process with the tribunal. I ended up winning, but it put a lot of pressure on various aspects of my life. Okay. I mean, as you might guess, going through court is not always fun.
Can't be fun, I imagine. No.
But then, I mean, the tax office tried to beat me in a deceptive way by actually issuing a bankruptcy note against me.
Is this because they said that you weren't paying tax on the Bitcoin? Correct me if I've
all sorts of things, silly arguments like that, and also they tried to argue a zero. I mean, I moved intellectual property that I'd been working on into the companies I formed in 2009.
Sure.
And I did a GST transaction as you required. And then they argued the validity of the transfer and the intellectual property, and which long-term is a good thing for me, and I'll explain that in a second. But the actual transaction that they disputed was net zero.
Yeah.
So between me and the companies I owned, all of the amount came back as zero. Actually, I owed them a little bit of money.
Okay.
So, they had a dispute over that, and I ended up fighting and spent a lot of money and time, actually 7-figure sum, over $100,000 tax bill.
Okay.
I can be stupid that way. I dig in. But eventually won. I stopped focusing on Bitcoin around as much around sort of the August period in 2010.
Okay.
By December, then January, I sort of had other things to. I mean, I had to fight the tax office. I had to do other things with clients, but I was also going through divorce from my first wife. So. All of these things came to a head. I mean, it probably didn't help when I walked home from BDO, where I was on partner track, and then said, "Look, I took a redundancy," and she went, okay, where are you going to work? And I went, oh, I've got this project I want to do. And
Yeah,
how are
that
we
is-
going to earn money? Well, I've got some money from the redundancy, and
Yeah,
wives get that way.
yeah, yeah, man. I'm married. You got kids?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, I got a 1-month-old baby. Jesus, it changes everything. It's like perspective. It's getting
Yeah.
sleep as well.
Yeah, but when you sort of come home and you don't discuss these things and you go, this is what I've decided to do. I've
Yeah.
got this project. I mean, I want to launch it and I need to spend some time. And
I'm sure she was thrilled.
oh, totally. I mean, yeah. I mean, what is it? Oh, it's digital money. I mean, I've been working on it for ages. And what's it worth? Well, nothing right now. But
Yeah.
so how do you know it's going to be worth anything? Oh, well, it will be. Why? Because I think it will be. Yeah, not a good argument.
So how much Bitcoin do you have now?
I don't. I have companies.
Okay, how much Bitcoin do your companies on?
A lot.
Okay, are you a billionaire if you convert the value of the Bitcoin?
That's debatable because technically, although I'm a chairman of a trust, it's a trust. So the trust owns a lot.
Okay.
And I guess I could work with other people in the trust and family.
Yeah.
But technically, I'm not even the trustee. So
Sure.
Hey, thanks for watching this YouTube video. If you want to see more like this, please remember to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.